folks, it's Rich here, your friendly noise-making guitar buying person. So, just a super quick update on a couple of little bits for you. So, first of all, thank you to everyone who had a little look at my community post about string gauge. Interesting, about 60% of people on 10 gauge strings, then 9 gauge and a few outside of that. But really interesting to get your comments too on the kind of string gauge, that you like for guitars. Some people using different string gauges on different guitars. Some people just like 9s period. Clearly, most people like 10s period. I'm a 10s person. When I first got back into trying to play guitar, still trying to play guitar, lots of Squires come standard with 9, so that's kind of all I knew really. And I can't remember when I went to 10s. When did I go to 10s? I don't know, I can't remember, or why. But now I just much prefer them. It's funny with 9s, isn't it? They bend a lot more easily, so I can see why someone new to guitar would appreciate that. But I think because I've used 10s for a little while now, the difference between the two is surprising, really, how much for me. I just find 9s, which this has got on it, and says that Chapman, just so bendy, and I can't control myself anyway, but on the guitar, but it makes it even worse. So yeah, so definitely 10s for me, but thanks again, appreciate that. Lots of people got involved. Guitar update, I've had 12 this year, and I'm only planning on another 2. No, really. So just quickly with these, absolutely love that ML3. I'm glad I've got one again. I never thought I'd like the white one in the flesh, but I really do. It's going to have some brass saddles on it because that's my thing. I like those. It needs a fret polish setup and some 10s put on it, and I may change the bridge pickup so it's totally different to my classic vibe then as well. I like the Seymour Duncan quarter pounder I had on a different Chapman, or maybe that'll have like a sort of a hot rails little mini humbucker in there. Not too sure yet, really. I'll have a think about that and get some guidance from Tom as well, Guitar Tech Tom. Hello if you're watching. Then the ML1 hybrid that I've just got again, my 6th or 7th one of those. About the 5th in that colour or the 4th in that colour. Really glad I've got one back. Really glad. Thanks again, Lucas, for setting it up so well for me. Really appreciate it. Just a lovely guitar. That will also have some brass saddles on it. Just a thing. Doesn't need anything. The only thing I'd say on that is the pickups on it are okay. You know, they're not brilliant. They're okay. But from what I played, they might be good enough. But I don't know. It might be something in the future that I change. When I say they're okay, you know, it might be the pots as well. A bit too bright. They're slightly bright, and they don't deal with, or certainly the neck and the middle pickup, the single coils don't deal with high gain that well, which I know that it's not really designed for. Anyway, waffling. So maybe not. But anyway, really happy to have that back. The neck on both of these are lovely. 9.5-inch radii. Super smooth, satin, just lovely. Classic vibe. So glad to have one of these back. I know they're old hat, they've been around for a long time, and people argue that they're not as good as they used to be. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I'm just delighted with this. It sounds exactly how I want a Tele to sound. I love Tele custom neck pickups. It's my favourite neck pickup sound. Smooth and creamy. You know, or like it's almost like a humbucker, aren't they? But not, which is a good thing. They're just lovely. I like the old school bridge with the 3 saddles on it. I've changed them to the brass saddles on here. It looks how a Tele should look, and even though it's got a glossy neck, it doesn't offend me. It's not as thick and tacky as the one I had the last time, an Indonesian one. So colour wise, it's my favourite colour, the butterscotch on here. Some of the older butterscotches have been a bit nicer that I've had. They're slightly lighter in colour, this is a bit more orangey, but they are what they are. They just changed, don't they? I'm delighted with it. I absolutely love this. Needs a setup, needs some 10s on it. My little Malibu here, which I've played a lot. If you're going to have a semi-acoustic, that's just a great option for me. The neck feels like an electric, it's easy to play, it sounds nice when it's not plugged in, it's not too loud, which is a good thing. Well, for me anyway, and plugged in, it just sounds absolutely delightful. So never sell that, would never need to, why would I? And then of course the mighty Mina in the corner, my Harley Benton that Sarah bought for me after we've been dating for 6 months. That went to Tom. Hello again, Tom. Needed some magic with it, so there's no, very little volume drop on the coil splits, and it's all set up nice, and the pots are really responsive. It all works lovely. The only thing on that, I've said this many times, is the neck pickup. It's the Tesla pickups, just a bit dark, but I suppose that's an EQ thing. Well, maybe it's a pickup change at some point, don't know. So really happy, genuinely happy with these. I was looking through all my photos of other guitars when I've had several before, and I think this is up there with my most happy I've been and settled with a bunch of guitars. Of course, there are individual guitars that I've sold and think, oh, I wish I still had that, but you'll always get that. So the only plans anytime soon are, I could do with one guitar that is maybe just metal focused. Not that I really play metal, and you can play it on any of these. In fact, I quite enjoy trying to play metal on this classic Vibe, which is quirky. But yeah, maybe a sort of a proper metally guitar perhaps I'm missing out on. So something like that, and that will probably be a Chapman again. Yawn, I know I've had 27 or 8 of them already, but probably a standard series. I prefer the necks, and a modern, so it'd be a slimmer neck and humbucker type scenario. Maybe do that, I don't know. And then the only other guitar that I'm planning for sometime later this year when it comes along is a Gibson Les Paul. And the reason for that, I had a Gibson tribute Les Paul years ago, and back in the day when they were affordable, it was like £600 new. Can you believe that? They're about £800 now, second hand. Crazy. But I don't really like single cuts, generally speaking. That's not my favourite guitar type. Never thought I'd say that, but it's just not my favourite guitar type, really. So much as I love Mina for what she is and what she does, she's a bit of a mix between a Les Paul and an Eclipse. She's weight relieved. She's got 3 knobs on it, not 4. Slightly different feel to a Les Paul. So if you're going to have one, really, maybe get the original. I'm thinking. I mean, he's paid a silly price for them. I'd get another tribute. I wouldn't get a standard. Standard, it's bonkers money new and bonkers money second hand. It's not for me. And actually, I quite like the tributes without the binding on and the matte sort of finish. They already look like they've had a bit of a life, don't they? They're not a relic, but they look like they've had a bit of a life. So I'll probably get one of those. I'm at the guitar show on March the 2nd, so I might be able to pick something up there, depending on what it is. The Chapman stand will be there. Might be a deal. I think Rob's going to be there as well. And Dan, who I've had a lot of dealings with. Hello, Rob and Dan, if you're watching. Not you, Dan might be, but Rob won't be. And so yeah, that's it. Genuinely, that's no plans for lots for the guitars this year. So that begs the question then, what next? Well, the drum kit is one, and that's got to happen. Sarah's got to have a piano. She's been using an electronic piano, which is fine, but she wants a piano, and she will have one. And yeah, we've been spending money on the house. We've got holidays and stuff this year, so can't keep spending. But so that leaves then, what about me and being better at guitar? Well, as you know, I keep talking about being better at guitar, and my interest in learning is really short-lived all the time. And as you know, I really need some proper basics that I've skipped. I still don't know where the notes are, and I just don't know anything really. Naughty, bad me. And I keep playing the same kind of stuff because that's all I can do. So I think first things first, Marty's course that I bought, which is actually, it's weird this thing to say here, it's got 86 individual small lessons on that intermediates course. It's just too much, isn't it, really? But I'm going to have a whistle stop tour through them. I'm not going to go through each one and think, oh yeah, I've learned that and can play it a bit now. I'm just going to have an overview of all of them over the next 3-4 weeks. And then I'm absolutely definitely going to pick up on lessons with a one-to-one, a face-to-face. I've reached out to a couple of people where I lived before near the Peterborough area and just haven't come back to me. It seems hard to find a face-to-face. I just can't get into the online, the Zoom type thing. Hi Steve, if you're watching, that was brilliant having a couple of lessons like that, and it's better than doing it on just online, I suppose. But I really miss that face-to-face. I need someone to say, Rich, this is what you need to do. Let's have a look at you trying it. No, put your finger there, do this like that. Go away, practice that, learn that. I'll see you in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and we'll go back over it and you can tell me where you're at, and then so on and so on. I just need that. I need that. So I'm going to go out my way to find so said person. If that is you, hello, anybody out there? I'm in Peterborough. If you're within sort of half an hour of me, I'm happy to travel a little bit. I really want one-to-one, face-to-face, structured lessons to get me somewhere. So that's it for now, everybody. That's the harem. I'll just turn this round. There's the little amp collection, and down on here next to me, there's the pedal board